All right, it is March 11th, 2018. I'm back with another video looking at how the market will trade with some of my particular stocks that I have very much interested in for Monday. One second. Yeah, sorry about that. I'm at an Airbnb in San Jose, and so the time difference is a little bit later than I normally would want to do these videos. At this point, my body doesn't know what time zone it's in, but it does know that I can, be able to trade, wake up, trade, work out, get on the plane. So that's all it knows. But my mind knows that I'm holding on to a good, solid play for tomorrow. It has the potential of breaking $3. I kind of hope that it does, so I can get rid of it. But this is TEUM. Like, this is a stock that's associated with cryptocurrencies. Is trying to keep its customer files protected properly, or more efficient than what it is right now. It's a biotech company, and essentially this is something that I'm holding. I've been holding since Tuesday, and it's just been going up ever since. So I'm just going to continue to hold it until I see that there's a pattern that's ending with it. Kind of something that's similar to this. On this side of the pattern, what happened is that, in a previous video I talked about, I said Murphy wave, but I meant Elliott wave. So an Elliott wave pattern has something similar to this, where, once the stock kind of trades or kind of sells off and flattens out like this, it will have a bounce, right? That bounce is a 1. When it tries to correct itself, it doesn't take over all of the gains, but it takes at least 50% of it, and out of that 50%, that becomes a bounce. So that's number 2. Number 2 creates number 3. Number 3 creates number 4, and then number 4 creates number 5. Before number 5 starts to trail off and do the same thing all over again. So right now, it looks like that we're just about to form a number 1. We're going to see what happens with tomorrow, but particularly if it breaks 3 and goes to 307, then we might see a little pullback where it was just bounce and continue to do this wave pattern all over again. So that is the Elliott wave pattern. There's more online. I found it just kind of studying, but the most important things are identifying where the support, identifying where resistance is, and identifying catalysts for this, for any stock company. You want to have all the odds in your favor. So that is obviously my hold. And the other hold that I have is WWE. Where are you? There you are. Okay, so I'm holding WWE. The wave pattern is not as distinct on here. I feel like it will have some pullback, barring any really bad news. I believe they're supposed to be doing a conference, or they're supposed to be doing something. Yeah, I thought so. Maybe on Tuesday, I believe. That was last week. So I'm clearly tired. So this was last week, and last week Tuesday they had some information that they wanted to release at Deutsche Bank in Florida to their investors. So essentially that their sales are pretty much good when it comes to the subscription-based WWE network and expanding into other regions, not just France, but also other parts of the Middle East. So they're pretty much doing really good right now, and but technically I kind of see this trying to pull back into the 37 area. Um, if it does do that, I might end up selling it because I don't want to deal with that. But I try applying the Elliott wave to this, and it's not as distinct. You know, you still get the this is the one, this is the two, that's the three, this is supposedly the four, and this is the five. So this is the five, and it's near a breakout level, and it's not trying to go up anymore. It might just trail off, and I don't want it to trail off like, you know, like what we just saw, with TEUM. They kind of see this trail off. It trailed off for like $2. I don't want to see that. So I am putting a limit at 37.50. I'll only get 50 cents a share at that point, but I still want to be able to, I still want to see how this Elliott wave kind of play out, so I can apply it with the things that I know, apply it with the other indicators, and hopefully be able to match something that really goes in my favor. So I'm holding those two stocks. But my top buy for Monday is NPTN. NPTN, just coming off of some good earnings, reported, even though that they reported expected loss, their price action showed something totally different. They actually had better price action than anticipated. So if we look at the day chart over the past 5 days, they came out with earnings on this first, and on the first, which was this Sunday. So going in, the first was a Thursday, I believe. Yeah, first was a Thursday. So the first going into, this is the 5th. Hold on. Yeah, this is the 5th. They came out with earnings on the first. That was a Thursday. So the second was a Friday. Ugh, oh my God. I am tired. Yeah. No. Okay. The second was a Friday. Yeah. So when it came to the 5th, which was a Monday, it kind of just traded sideways, but it started to go up, and ever since then it's just been making higher highs. It had one day where it went sideways, but essentially it ended, going higher than the previous highs. So we have some good movement on this, and I want to see it continue going, being the fact that it is near breakout levels at 720. I think that it could go and test 768. Because 768 seems like a good area for it to break. If this does pass 720, I will be looking to buy into any little pullback, so I can be able to insert my shares as well. But NPTN, top choice, is a little overbought on the hour chart, which is not a big fan of mine. On the year chart, it's not. But what it also is doing on the year chart is having the 50-day moving average crossing over the 100-day moving average, or it's coming to cross over the 100-day moving average. So that will make it even more bullish than what it is right now. Just it trading over the 100-day average in itself is a bullish indicator. So I am anticipating that it will continue to do the same thing. It's not overbought, and the MACD is showing positive momentum, bullish momentum. So, so this is my top buy for Monday. If for some odd reason that does not work out, I am looking at a couple other ones. AIPT. Main reason why I'm looking at this is because, the biggest reason is because it's the IPO. Most of these IPOs have been doing really well. after it flattens out like it has here. It's flattened out and it is approaching its all-time high. Right now it's at resistance at 135 and is trying to break this 150 mark. Now AIPT is essentially the same company but just a different ticker symbol. You have the SKLN. It was another biotech company. They just changed ticker symbols. I don't even believe that they changed a whole lot of their business structure. They still have the same type of products that are available that was available on SKLN. So, but before SKLN closed off its stock ticker, it came out with some positive earnings about sales on their Streamline device that apparently was doing really good before they switched names. So I think it was just a name change. I haven't really read the SEC filing on why they changed the name. This is something that more than likely I will look at before I even think about buying in the morning. So this is another buy that I am looking at. It's bullish now. It's bullish because that 50-day moving average is crossed over the 100-day moving average, and the MACD is in a bullish direction with the RSI not overbought. So these are accumulative things that are showing me that, hey, this might be something worth waiting for. And I did put my mark at $1.39 because I want to see it cross $1.35 significantly before I start putting in any type of cash. So yeah, I'm liking the way that this is moving, and I anticipate to do it just a little bit more. And then there's one more, GSVC. GSVC is essentially a corporation that has bought shares on some pretty notable companies that have not became public yet. One of them is being Spotify, the other one is Lyft, and the other one is Dropbox. So you have this company that was able to invest into these private companies before they become public, and because that they have done that, it now gives me or you as an investor an opportunity to put money in this company before these companies become IPOs. Now, I was reading in one of the reports, it was saying not to buy over $8. The way that this red candle is starting to look on this chart, it looked like it might have a little bit more pullback, so I want to see it not be overbought like it is on the RSI. But it's kind of doing the same thing as far as the Elliott wave, and that Elliott wave is actually kind of very, very helpful. I'd never would even thought of it. Obviously, many times I've looked at these stock charts, I never thought that there was an actual wave that's happening with the pattern. I just thought it was just going up or going down. But so here, I'm starting to see that once it hits 0.5, and it has this pretty considerable downtrend, and then it starts holding support, which it did in the 5s. It starts to go up, right? So I would consider this probably 1, and then this is 2. Even though it didn't come back as far, it did go near support, right? So support is right here at 668. It was near 674. So you can't go wrong with that. So I would consider this as 2, and this is 3. And even though this is 3, it did pull back. So it didn't go quite to 5, but it did pull back far enough and started going sideways, right? So we're here. I'm seeing that this is 1, this is 2, this is kind of 3, and then it goes sideways, right? It kind of went up. I guess if this would have been 4, then this would have been 5, right? So it went up to 3, and then went sideways, went higher than what 3 was. So I would consider it up around here 5 before it started to come down, right? So it's starting to do the same thing, except this time it stopped at 3 before going sideways. So now it's doing the same thing, going up. This is 1, this is 2, this is 3, this is 4, this is 5, right? So we should start seeing some pullback on 5. So hopefully this pulls back according to the research. Says should don't buy over 8. So I'm actually going to listen, and maybe it might come down to where this 100-day, where the 50-day moving average is, and because it's there at the 50-day, it might bounce, and the 100-day moving average might come closer to the 50. So I'm really looking to buy this a little bit lower than the 870 area. I want to see it to really pull back before I even start buying, because this is a good opportunity to get some shares prior to any of these companies going public. And then the last one, even though I love NETE a lot, it's kind of hard to choose. So no, I think that would be my last one. GSVC, AIPT, NPTN. Like I said, NPTN is my top choice. AIPT is my next choice, and then GSVC is my next choice. NETE has a lot of potential. Has a lot of potential, and so does CGEN. That also has, and so does ITUS. So there's a lot of plays, and then majority of the ones that are not even highlighted, they also have some type of potential too. So it's kind of hard to really narrow down your focus. GRXXF. I am really anticipating this drop. I want to see this drop. So the minute that this drops, I want to buy the bounce. So hopefully it drops so I can dip buy it and come up ahead, maybe get 40 cents a share on it, but it's been going up, and it just gives me a further reminder to look over the oil indexes, the index for oil, because not only do I have GRXXF, I also have PFIE, which, like I said, look at this breakout level. Like, you can't even go wrong with that. It's like right there. You have PFIE, you have ZN, and I feel like there was one more. Yeah, LTBR. No, it's not LTBR. I'm bugging. Where are you? I don't know. I'm tired. But essentially, before buying any of these, kind of look at what the sector is doing before you buy. That's key. So hopefully that this was helpful. If you have any questions, you can kind of just hit me up. If you don't, that's fine. Either way, you look at every opportunity that you have to trade with and see where buying near support is only good for you. Buying near support, selling near resistance is good for you. In managing your risk reward, knowing where you're getting in and where you're getting out, and knowing that you're always closer to your reward than you are to your risk. Minimizing your risk is always key. So let's be successful this week. Let's look at everything. Let's cross our T's, dot our I's, to ensure that we are making the best plays available. And because of that, we'll become even more successful at trading. Thank you, and have a good night.